Nostalgic Gourmet is a series where I'm taking things all the way back down memory lane. We are headed to the early 2000s, showing you how to make some of my favorite childhood treats and dishes. As we bring them back to life, I will be sure to add a little twist. Join me in my home kitchen to watch me throw it all the way back to the early good old days. Now it's time for you to be a kid again. On today's episode, we're taking things all the way back to one of my favorite childhood cereals growing up. Mainly because the commercials were so dope. I'll give you a hint of what it is. The song goes like this. Peanut butter chocolate, great when separate, but when they're combined, they make the morning time epic. It's the Reese's Puff cereal. You can't go wrong with this cereal. It's two of my favorite ingredients, chocolate, peanut butter. And guess what we're doing with it? We're baking with it. We're baking. We're making some homemade chocolate donuts with these Reese pieces right inside, some Reese pieces on top of it, and Reese Puff cereal, of course, has to go in it, and some of those Reese's chocolate candies on top as well. This is Reese's everything, but this cereal is the main part of it. Let's get into the kitchen. Alright y'all, let's get into these chocolate Reese Puff donuts. They're incredibly easy to make, and all the ingredients that's going into these, you may have some on hand, but if you don't have them on hand, go to the grocery store, get some, and they're pretty affordable, okay? We're gonna start off with a half a cup of sugar. I'm using just some raw sugar, that's why it's kind of brown like this, but if you have white sugar, go for it. We're gonna mix all of our wet ingredients in this bowl first before we add in the dry stuff. I'm gonna put in half a cup of this buttermilk right into the sugar. The buttermilk gonna keep the donuts moist, and we're gonna add a delicious, kind of tangy taste to those donuts as well. Some butter. We're gonna do 1 egg. And just a reminder as well, when you're baking, you wanna have all of your ingredients room temperature. It just allows for a better product to be made when it comes out of the oven. Give that a mix. Beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and add a nice tablespoon of peanut butter into the mixture. You can use crunchy, you can use creamy, whatever you have on hand, whatever's your favorite, go ahead and use that. This is a nice heaping tablespoon of peanut butter because you can never go wrong with peanut butter. All right, the mix. And you want to mix as you go so it's not so much work after. All right, I'm gonna add some vanilla. I never really measure my vanilla because I love it so much. And I've been using it for a while too, so about a teaspoon of vanilla goes into that mixture. And now it's time to go ahead and add those dry ingredients. Starting off with our Reese's Puff cereal. I went ahead and grinded those up with my hands, broke it up. It's still a little bit coarse, but that's totally fine. About a half a cup of that going in there. We're gonna add an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. You know, when you bake with a lot of sweet ingredients, you want to add a little bit of salt just to off balance that sweetness. It's normal. Don't be scared. All right. Some baking soda. I'm gonna add some cocoa powder into it to give it a nice chocolatey flavor. I'm gonna add 3/4 of cocoa powder into the mixture. This is also unsweetened cocoa powder too, if you're wondering. Mix that all up. All right, we're gonna add a cup of flour right into the mixture as well. Cut that off a little bit. Beautiful. All right, mix it up a little bit more. So I'm going to switch to a rubber spatula to finish the jive off. You want to just work those ingredients all in together. All right, we're all done mixing that batter together. We're gonna go ahead and grab our donut tin right here. I have 6 donuts. They usually come in about a half a dozen or a full dozen. Depends on the pan you have. But you wanna go ahead and put this batter right into your donut pan. So these donut pans are already pre-greased. I put some Pam on those, but you can also use like oil brush. You can also use some butter. You just wanna make them non-stick basically. You're gonna fill these donut pans all the way. Beautiful. You want a nice, big, fluffy donut. All right, I'm all done putting that batter into the donut pans. I'm gonna put it right into my oven. I have it preheated at 350 degrees. I'm gonna bake these for no longer than 10 minutes, so about 8 to 10 minutes, and they'll be all done. All right, so my donuts have been cooling on a cooling rack for about 15 minutes. You can do 15 minutes too, or just until the donuts are fully cooled off. I'm gonna top these with some awesome toppings, starting off with some chocolate sauce that I bought from the store, and drizzling that on top of each donut. And then we're gonna add some Reese's Puffs on top of each donut as well, because you have to, right? Reese's Puff donuts. And I went ahead and like coarsely crumbled each one up for the Reese's Puffs, so they stick a little better onto the donuts. Beautiful. Then I'm going to add some of these Reese's Pieces in mini peanut butter cups. I have to taste it. Just like childhood, literally. And that is how you make a Reese's Puff donut. I have to try it out, right? Yo, this right here is like a cereal box inside a donut. That is how you make nostalgic gourmet. Thanks for watching the show. See you next week for a brand new episode.